All right, let's talk about a really critical decision you have to make when you're building out your AI infrastructure. It's this big question, to virtualize or not to virtualize your GPUs. Believe me, this is a choice that has massive ripple effects on your performance, your flexibility, and, of course, your budget. Now, before we really jump in, we've got to do the quick disclaimer. This is Module 8 of a 15-part tutorial all about using private cloud for AI. It's based on a really deep report from Virtualization Options LLC. Just remember, what we're talking about here is for general guidance. It is definitely not legal, financial, or technical advice. You should always chat with your own pros before making any big moves. And for today, we're zeroing in on the material from Chapter 8. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. We've been using server virtualization for years, and for traditional IT, it's been an absolute game changer. But here's the thing. AI workloads are a completely different animal. They push hardware to the absolute edge, and that means we have to rethink our entire playbook, starting from the ground up. So let's frame this whole thing up. We're calling this the AI virtualization dilemma for a reason. There's no single easy answer here, and honestly, the stakes are incredibly high. The choice you make can be the difference between success and a very expensive failure. And wow, when you see it laid out like this, the difference is just night and day, right? Your standard apps, they can take a little performance hit from virtualization. It's fine. The flexibility is worth it. But AI workloads, especially for training these huge models, they are so sensitive. Every tiny percentage point of performance you lose to overhead means more time and more money down the drain. So, our first contender in the ring is the most straightforward, no-nonsense approach, running your AI workloads directly on the physical hardware. This is the choice for the purists out there who want raw, unfiltered power. What this means is you are completely cutting out the middleman. That virtualization layer, the hypervisor, is gone. Your application gets to talk directly to the hardware. You get every single drop of performance from those very expensive GPUs you bought. And right here, you see the fundamental trade-off. It's a big one. On the plus side, you get that top-tier zero-compromise performance. You even get to ditch those hypervisor licensing fees. But, and this is a huge but, what you sacrifice is all that operational agility that IT teams love. You can't just easily migrate workloads, and planning for capacity becomes this very rigid physical puzzle. This quote just nails it. This is the sweet spot for bare metal. If you have these massive, dedicated AI training jobs that are going to be running flat out, pegging your GPUs at 100% for weeks on end, this is your play. You are literally squeezing every ounce of value out of that hardware. Okay, so what if you want to have your cake and eat it too? Well, that brings us to option number 2, GPU pass-through. Think of it as a hybrid approach for people who want that near bare metal speed without totally ditching their virtualization setup. The way this works is pretty cool. You're basically giving a virtual machine its very own private, dedicated GPU. The VM can then bypass that hypervisor for most of its GPU-heavy work, talking almost directly to the hardware. So you get incredible speed, while the rest of the VM's functions are still handled by the hypervisor like normal. You know, this approach is a real winner for organizations that are already deeply bought into virtualization platforms like VMware or KVM. It lets them bring AI workloads into the fold using the tools and processes they already know, like snapshots, while still getting amazing performance. The catch? You give up the ability to share that one GPU across multiple VMs. It's a one-to-one relationship. All right, for our third and final option, the key word you need to remember is sharing. This approach fully leans into virtualization to squeeze every bit of value out of your pricey GPUs, and it's perfect for a whole different class of AI workloads. What NVIDIA's vGPU technology does is pretty clever. It essentially takes one of those super powerful, super expensive physical GPUs and just slices it up into multiple smaller, independent virtual GPUs. Each one of those little slices can then be handed out to a different virtual machine. It's all about multi-tenancy. So this is where vGPU is the hero. We're talking about workloads like inference, or maybe setting up development environments where a bunch of different users all need a little piece of a GPU, but nobody needs the whole thing. It's all about flexibility. But for training those gigantic models, with the performance overhead and memory limits, it's probably not going to be your best bet. Okay, so we've walked through all 3 options. Now let's throw them into the ring together and really see how they stack up side by side. This should make the decision crystal clear. This chart really tells the whole story, doesn't it? It's that classic engineering trade-off we see all the time. Bare metal is on one end of the spectrum, all performance, very little flexibility. vGPU is the total opposite, maximum flexibility but with a performance cost. And right there in the sweet spot in the middle, you've got GPU pass-through, offering a really compelling balance if it fits your organization. So, this is your key takeaway. If you're trying to figure this all out, here's a super simple 3-step framework. First, get really honest about your workload. Is it a long-haul training marathon or a bunch of short sprints? Second, what is your number one priority? Is it raw, unadulterated speed, or is it operational ease and flexibility? And finally, just match your answers from those first 2 steps to one of the 3 models we just talked about. At the end of the day, the choice you make here is going to define how agile and how efficient your team can be. So as we wrap this up, you really have to ask yourself, are you building an infrastructure that's going to accelerate your AI ambitions, or are you accidentally creating a bottleneck that's going to hold you back? The right answer is always hidden in the workload.